What's poppin', y'all? Zach, Make Money Mowing. In this video, I want to talk about the hardest part, at least for me, for moi. When it came to running my lawn care business, I'll discuss what I had the most trouble with, even till the very end. Even when I was 5 years in business, I would still get nervous with it. And then I'll talk about how to overcome it. And then I'll also mix in the animals I bought because they're cool. So let's get into it. So whenever I was growing my business, like people, all the comments I get on my channel, marketing, how do you market? How do you price? How do you get all your permits? What permits do you need? Look, our bunnies had babies. And then this chicken's having a baby. And that's her daddy right there. And then I got cactuses, some raspberries, some papaya, jackfruit. Over here got some birdies. All my ducks and my gooses and my turkeys are running around. All the back end stuff was easy. When it came to marketing, put yourself on Google, post some Craigslist ads, go and make business cards, pass them out in neighborhoods. Marketing was easy for me. I think consistency is a lot of it. If you just flood your market with enough advertisements online and physical, then people are going to see you within a matter of time before they start calling you. And to go a little bit deeper on that, getting your first customer is the hardest. But imagine whenever you have one customer in one neighborhood, then from there you start showing up week after week after week. People start recognizing you. The neighbors are going to come out and they're going to ask you for a quote. Or the people are going to see you driving in, driving out, driving in, driving out with your magnets on your truck day in, day out. So they're going to go in and they're going to start calling you and getting curious, especially when they start seeing how crispy the job is. They're going to be just eventually reaching out to you. So getting your first customer is the hardest, but whenever you get it from that first customer, then it becomes like a upward snowball avalanche effect where it just gets easier and easier over time. So for me, marketing was easy. For me, quoting was easy. For me, like giving out a number and just like choosing how much something costs was easy. I just figured like, what is this worth to me? Is this a $50 yard? Is this a $60 yard? Is this a $60 hedge trim? That was always easy. Getting permits, just Google state of Texas, state of Louisiana, state of New York. What permits do I need for lawn care? It's so simple. Do you need insurance? Yeah, you should get insurance. Do you need a license to spray weed control? Then yeah, you do need it. But all that stuff was easy. The hardest thing for me, look at my doggy. The hardest thing for me personally was going and just facing the customers and giving the quotes. Coming up with the number was easy for me. But going and like getting a quote, getting a text or a phone call, and then scheduling a time to go talk to the customer and then knock on their door and then just meet whoever, like I don't know what they look like. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's a family, if it's a guy or a girl. I don't know if they're nice or they're mean. Just going and knocking on the door and then just like saying, hello, Zachary here. Here's my lawn care quote for you, and getting them the price and stuff. That was always the hardest part for me. Even up until the 5th year when I was still doing it, I would still get nervous with it. I'd still get the same butterflies like I did when it was my very first time ever giving a quote. And the way to combat that is just to realize that you're not alone if you're nervous too. If you're not nervous, then good for you. Maybe you need something else that you need help with. Let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to make a video on it. But for me, it was just, I don't know, maybe because I'm introverted, even though I was making 5, 6, 7, 8,000 a month, even though I had such good skill with the customers, with the jobs, with the yards, I would just get nervous just meeting the customer for the first time. And it was always, I realized like it doesn't get any easier. You just get more used to it. And then from there, that was really the only thing that I had trouble with. It's kind of I'll make this like a short, simple video. And I just want you guys to know like the easier it becomes, the more that you do it. But no matter what, even if it was a $50 yard or a $500 job, I would just get nervous talking to the customer for the very first time. But as time went on, I realized like a little solution that I had to it was whenever somebody would reach out to me for a quote, right? Usually I would just go in the beginning when I was trying to do as much as I could to get as many customers as possible. I would just say, all right, if it's 4 p.m., I'll go show up and I'll give you the quote right now. Usually they're at home. But a little tip, a little hack that I found out was if I tell the customer I can only be there for a quote, say 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on a weekday, usually people were at work at those times, or if it's COVID times, then they're working from home and they can't really come outside. So I would say I could only come to quote on Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. And then from that way I said, if you're not going to be available, is it okay if I just pop in through the gate and then just take a look, take some pictures, and I could text you the quote or I could send it to you over text message? 99% of the time they said yes. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I removed the ability for me to go and have to talk to a customer, hear their life stories. Sometimes I could just go and get in, get out like a Green Beret, just give them the price and they say yes or no over text message, and I never even meet them. And then from that format, there's customers that I mowed their yards for 2, 3, 4 years. I never even met them, or I met them 2, 3, 4 years later after doing the yard one day. They were just coming home early and then I finally finally met them, or one day they finally popped outside. But a lot of the communication was done over text. So if you're like me and you get nervous from dealing with customers face to face and knocking on doors and giving a quote. And another thing too that would make me nervous is I would go and I would give a quote, and what if they say no? What if they just tell me $50? Like, so I go and I drive all the way over there, I give them a price, and then they're just flabbergasted that it's a $50 mow, and I tell them why it is. I tell them my reviews speak for themselves. I tell them if you want a $20 mow, then you're going to get $20 quality of work, and it's not going to last, and you're going to end up calling me back, which happens quite a few times whenever they try to lowball the price and get something cheaper. It's like cheap work is cheap work. You get what you pay for. So I hated the fact that I would have to go and I would have to drive over there, talk to them in person, walk with them, and give them the price, just for the fact that maybe 1 out of 2 times they would just say no, or the price is too high. So by doing it over text message, if I could just tell them this charge is going to be $50, I have a copy and paste message that I use all the time. I just change the price, and I maybe give it like a little bit of a note if it's a specialty, but usually it's just the same exact format for a mow, and they say yes or no, and then it's a text message. So if they say no, no problem, or if they don't reply to me, no problem, or if they say yes, then it's good to go. Then I'm happy to go meet them now that the price has already been locked in, to where I don't have to go. And maybe the awkwardness that I'm realizing came from just the fact that I don't know if they're going to be used to my price. They might think it's too high. So by doing it over text message, as time went on, at first in the beginning, of course, I did everything in person because I needed to learn it myself, but I didn't know any better. But as you get busier, as you get more confident, as you have more customers, you have more leverage, you can do more quotes over the text message. So in the beginning, for a beginner, I would recommend just go do it all yourself in person. But as time goes on, I think you'll just realize that you have a little bit more of a swing at doing it over text if it's just a mow. If it's a landscaping job or a tree trim or something, then of course go see it in person. But for just a mow, they could send me a picture of this, and then I could tell them what's the price going to be. I'm probably going to make you dizzy. But that was the hardest thing that I had trouble with. So if you guys are like that, I hope that helps. You don't have to do it always over in person forever. You could just do it in the beginning and learn it, and then eventually you could just come up with a little script. And like what I would say to a customer is, okay, I took a look at the yard for the front and back mow, trim, edge, and blow. The first time it needs to have the edges redone. I need to dig them out. The yard's a little bit taller. I'm gonna have to mow over 2 to 3 times. So the first time could be $65. And then for the recurring bi-weekly, twice a month price, is gonna be $50 after that for the mow, trim, edge, blow. So $65 for the initial visit, and then $50 going forward. I do all the work myself, so the gate will always be closed. I'll always be careful around the cars in the house, and my work speaks for itself, my reviews speak for itself. And that was it. So I didn't just tell them a price, I told them a little bit of the benefit. I told them that I do it all by myself, there's no laborers. You can count on me to be there, to know where the sprinklers are, to know where the little spots are that a worker who's new would always forget, or if they're rotating workers, they're not going to have that same liberty. If it's just me, you can trust me, and I have limited availability because it's only me. So that also helped angle the price and give it a little bit of a boost whenever I was giving my quotes to everybody. So with that being said, that was the hardest thing that I ever had trouble with. If you're still watching this point, let me know what the hardest part that you had was when it came to operating your business, or if you have questions, let me know what you have. And then right now I'll show you my last animals. Oh my goodness, big boy. Everyone's crazy. My house is loud. These sheep over here, the mommy's about to have a baby. She's all pregnant and stuff. Where's your tummy at? About to have sheepy babies. She got udders like a, ew, she peeing gross. Sorry about that. And then last spot, let me get inside over here. Got some peacocks. There's a boy and a girl, and they're gonna have babies, I think, in a month. They're funny. So that was the video for today. The hardest part that I had trouble with when I was operating my lawn care business and how to fix it. Just realize it doesn't get better, you just get stronger, and you could do a lot of communicating over text. And I think the biggest caveat is really just, it's not awkward, it's just the price. I don't want to drive over there and then they look at me like I'm crazy when I give them the price. So by giving the price over text message, then at least you could say, here's the price. If you have any questions, or if you want me to stop by in person to talk any or over any details or anything, you can do that as well. But just by giving the price as a big old wide open, here's what to expect, I think that removes a lot of the awkwardness and shyness. And if they're okay with the price, then I'm okay with talking to them. It's just, I don't want them to be expecting a $20 mow when I'm going to be charging 40, 50, 60, right? So That being said, I hope that helped. If you need help growing your lawn care business, if you want to become your own boss forever, be a badass lawn care mowing and just have a cool operation that puts you in control of your time and your money, that you could scale up or just keep it solo forever. I kept it solo. I like it simple. Of course, there's a ceiling on what you can make, but I went into this business not to make $1 million. Of course, money is cool, but I just wanted to have a simple business that was low stress, that I had recurring revenue to where I didn't need a job. I could just do my own business with my truck and my 3 tools and make money and make a living. And that's what I did for 5 years. So you can do it too. I can help you out. It's wintertime right now for some of y'all. So if you live in California, Florida, Hawaii, you can mow all year round pretty much. But if it's winter time, this is a great time to learn the business, to get into the program, to get into the course, to talk to me so we can get exact game plans for you. So that way when springtime comes, you're ahead of the curve. You can start marketing in February when everyone's just barely trying to figure it out. You already have everything set up. You got your equipment, you got your game plan, you know how to quote, you feel confident. And then you just off to the races, and then you go full time your first year just like I did. So here's my peacocks. They say bye to you, and I look forward to hearing from y'all. Let me know in the comments if you want any other topics. MakeMoneyMowing.com is how to join my program, limited spots. And for those who reached out to me in the past week, I'm gonna get to y'all right now after I post and upload this video. So peace out, love y'all, and talk to you soon, gang. This is just an afterthought too. When it came to the difficulty, like the topic of this video, when it comes to the work, doing 10 yards in a row, that was never the hard part for me. But I think it's because I trained myself to do it. I didn't just do 10 yards the first time ever. I started with just 1 yard a day because that's all that I had. And then I had 2 customers, I'd do 2 yards a day. Then I had 3, and then I just worked myself up. So I trained myself to do it, and I was able to do it where I wouldn't even break a sweat a lot of these times, maybe in the summer a little bit, but it became easy because I was trained to it. If I go to the gym right now, for example, and I try to do a squat workout with 225 for 5 sets of 5, I'd be dying. I'd be gassed out. I can mow 10 yards so much easier than I could squat 225. And I used to be able to squat way more than that back in the day, but I haven't been doing it as much. So my body's not trained for it. So of course, if you're overweight, maybe it's harder for you. I was always kind of a naturally skinny guy, but my cardio was cool and I would just jog. And I think jogging was the biggest easy way for me to stay in shape of my business. So that's for the work. Work was never hard for me. I love the work. And right now in comparison, for me, doing all this online work, I miss the lawn care work so much because it keeps you in shape. It feels good. Your endorphins are running because you're moving around. You're not just sitting stationary. You're not sitting on a computer. You're outside in the beautiful world making money. Every day is different, and you get paid on the spot, and it's just done. A lot of businesses, maybe it runs 24/7. My online business runs 24/7. I get emails all the time. Different looks all the time, different angles, different stories. But for lawn care, it was just set in stone. It was super simple. It was more, I think there's a scale of physical work to mental work. Lawn care, all physical, low mental, which is how I like it because it's low stress. It's not a lot to think about. It's just I'm gonna make this money, go do 10 yards. I got 50 yards each. I'm sorry, $50 per yard. 10 yards, 500, and then I finish at 2, 3 p.m. and then I'm done for the day. But with a different business, example, my business, it never stops, never ends, and it's just a whole different animal. So they're both cool. Online business is cool. Lawn care is cool, but take it from my word, from me who's done both. Lawn care is the best, and the best because you're moving around and you're using your hands and it feels natural. Sitting in front of a computer is not natural, but it is a grind and you got to do what you got to do. So my cactuses and my blackberries and my jackfruit say adios. And this rooster says bye. And this blue-faced chicken says bye. And these bunnies say bye. And then we'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.